campaign, go to fixers.org.uk. 40 years ago in Islington, a service was launched to help gay and lesbian people in London. Since then, more than 3 million people have called the London Lesbian and Gay Switchboard, looking for confidential advice and support. Well, one person who's used the service is League of Gentlemen and Sherlock actor and writer Mark Gatiss.
I am the smart one.
I used to think I was an idiot.
Both of us thought you were an idiot, Sherlock. We had nothing else to go on till we met other...
He's now one of the patrons of the charity. I spoke to him and a current volunteer about the work the charity does and how he heard about it.
There was a sitcom called Agony with Maureen Lipman, and it was co-written by Anna Rayburn, the Agony aunt, and she insisted on having a poster for Switchboard on the wall, precisely so that any confused young gay and lesbian people out there might have a resource. And I rang it as a direct result of seeing the show. And I really just to have someone to talk to. I was only about 10 or 11, I think, when I rang. And it was just to have a sort of, as it says, a calm word when you need it most. And that's what the service provides to this day. And more power to its elbow.
Do you think if it wasn't for that support and advice you got, that you wouldn't really be here doing what you're doing today, being something that's so visual in the public eye?
Well, I think it was a confidence boost. You know, I didn't ring every week or anything like that, but it was actually just to know there was anybody else out there was hugely important. And I think it's very important to stress that we imagine that sort of in 2014 all battles have been won and that everybody lives in a super confident, media-savvy internet age in which everything is accessible. But really, there's no substitute for picking up the phone and talking to someone who will listen to you. And that's what it provides. It's not about counselling or about telling you what you should or shouldn't do. It's really just about listening to people.
Well, talking listening to people, Natasha, you are a volunteer at the service. Now, what kind of problems are people calling about these days?
Everything, really. We get a variety of callers. People calling about coming out is quite a big issue, as well as things that are going on in their day-to-day lives. As well as that, you get friends and families calling, wanting to discuss someone or something in relation to a family member and how they might be questioning their sexuality as well.
I think it's very important to stress that, isn't it? It's not just a service for people who identify as being gay or lesbian or transgender. It's for their wider friends and family who often have really quite desperate to know where to turn. They don't have anyone in their immediate group of friends they can even talk to, so it provides that sort of service as well.
I mean, back in the 70s when the service started, there really wasn't anything like it for the LGBT community out there, so it was hugely significant.
Yes, it was. I mean, it was in the Yellow Pages, I think, and Switchboard as a name, it actually seems quite old-fashioned now, but I think it's rather a good thing to have a sort of solid identifying focus point for all this. It was hugely influential in the 70s and continues to be so. I think it's just important to think that, you know, even though we're in an increasingly digital age, you can always talk to a real human being. Yeah.
I mean, 40 years on, Natasha, how does the service change now that we're in 2014? What does it have to offer Londoners now?
Well, we have the telephone service as well as the instant messaging and emails online. But no, you're right, we are moving into a massive digital age and who knows how quickly technology is going to develop. And it's definitely something that we're going to have to look into, other digital mediums that we can tap into for the switchboard. But I think at the end of the day, there is nothing like talking to a person at the end of the phone. Of course, and, you know, like Mark said earlier, it's about calm words when you need them most. And
very, very quickly, there is a gala celebrating the 40th anniversary tonight. Quickly tell me who's going to be there.
Me.
Well, yeah, Mark and me. Beverly Knight is going to be there performing.
Dan Gillespie Sells from The Feeling.
That's right, and Lucy Spraggan, as well as a
Off of X Factor.
Yeah, of course.
It's going to be a great party,
it's going to be
sounds
great.
like.
Yeah.
Well, both of you, thank you for coming in, Mark and Natasha. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, the ITV